going to go
I
live.
just censored 200 things I shouldn't do. I think I'm good now.
Do I have to mute your mics? Is that what's going to happen here?
Maybe.
Hello, God bless, and welcome. I'm Kevin Haggerty. This is the Godlogic Project, where we discuss maintaining a Christian worldview in a post-Christian America. Got a really cool guests on the show tonight. They started and run a recovery home here in the Tampa Bay area that's just doing some out-of-the-box dynamic things. Really exciting. I'm really pleased that we were able to put this show together. But first, the intro music. Hello, God bless, and welcome. I'm Kevin Haggerty, and this is the Godlogic Project.
Shut up, Kevin.
I'm Kevin Haggerty. That's Mike Houston telling me to shut up, as always. We have in the house tonight, in studio, in beautiful Godlogic Studios here in Burbank, California. Oh, no, we're in Holiday.
Holiday
Florida.
You might hear gunshots. You'll hear the helicopter.
Boom.
We are live at Godlogic Studios with Jennifer and Angelique from DaVinci Home. Ladies, how are you tonight?
Great.
Very
How are
good.
you?
Really excited to be here.
This is pretty cool, right?
fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and we put this together in less than a week, I think,
We
didn't we?
Right.
'Cause I usually give myself like a week to get ready. So, very pleased to have you guys here. Now, we there's a reason why we kind of did this a little quicker than normal, because you got a big thing coming up on the 23rd. So we gotta announce that for everybody. We're gonna kind of explain to them what the DaVinci Home is and what it does, and we'll kind of give you the idea for the thing. But first, so they get to know you a little bit. I don't know if you want to tell us some of your background, Angelique.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Angelique. I am a recovering alcoholic, addict.
Woo.
And yes, so through recovery, I had been in what is called halfway houses, transitional houses myself. So that's how I was introduced to anonymous fellowships, and got my recovery that way. Through that process, I actually came across a halfway house that was really, really subpar, and actually was run by active addicts. So, so actually,
There's probably a waiting list.
with a combination of being in halfway houses that were ridiculously strict, and trying to do their version of an inpatient treatment, and at the same time do transitional, to the other side where it was, and absolutely no rules, no supervision whatsoever. I kind of, it developed a passion for me actually on what I really wanted to give the community, and what I really wanted to give myself actually in early recovery. So that's how that's how I came up with the vision for DaVinci. There was a transitional house that had become really, really run down, and the owner had asked me to run it, and I do have a lot of entrepreneurial background. And I said, no, but I'll do my own. I'll make it my own business. And so I asked one of my counselors to be my partner. And for 2 months, she was my partner. But then she had a family tragedy, and DaVinci became my own. So I ran that for the first 3 years just by myself, in my vision. And we'll say divine power, higher power, whatever, brought Jennifer with me. And, when I met her, she was still, very confused about what her capabilities were, where she was in hers. So she was humble and pretty demure, pretty quiet. And
That changed.
right?
It did.
When she came out of her shell, it was amazing. And I knew she was a leader, because she had all the qualities I did. She knew what the recovery community was like by this point. She wanted to make an impact and a big change, revolutionize it. She had some vision for that and great ideas for that. she wasn't just, it needs to be different. She had really solid ideas and really wanted to share that with the community. She was ready to just get in, do it, be a part of it, live side by side with everybody and do the deal with everybody and lead by the example of that. So her vision, my vision aligned a lot. And that's where we really, you know, we understand there's got to be structure, but we also understand that in early recovery, you're so daunted already that we wanted to inspire people, motivate people, show people that they were stronger than they knew they were.
Well, and I've known, how long ago did you start DaVinci Home?
I started in July of 2016.
Okay, so you've been at it a minute, and then you and I met, Jennifer, at like local events. I don't remember exactly when we met. We just seemed to know each other when we met. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
So just like, oh, there's Jennifer. Yeah. So so tell us a little bit about your background, and pretend I'm not about to get up and fix this camera.
Okay. So I belong to a 12-step program. I was in another halfway house for a few months. I came to DaVinci as a client and fell in love with Angelique. She has been such an inspiration to me and my recovery. I was super excited that she asked me to be her partner and just work with her and do this thing. She is just an amazing role model, and I tell people all the time, you should call me AJ, like Angelique Jr. So that's our thing. But yeah, so now we're doing the thing, and DaVinci is where it's at. It's our home. We live there, and we do events all the time, and it makes, you know, I'm a recovering addict, so it makes life a little bit easier being at DaVinci. We can breathe. Our clients can breathe. We can recover, and just really support each other and love on each other. I'm just super grateful for Angelique and allowing me to be her partner and do this stuff.
Well, we're gonna introduce folks to kind of the DaVinci difference. So DaVinci is different than anything. In fact, I'll give away some of it right away.
Right.
In fact, I saw on Facebook that you were having a fire walk. So I texted Jennifer and I said, when you say fire walk, do you mean fire walk? You mean like walking on fire? And she said, yes, we do. I said, you want to be on the Godlogic Project. So that's all I knew, but that was enough to make a podcast out of it. So so we have a video now of, it's like a 2 or 3 minute video on kind of a produced video on what you guys do over there.
Yeah, I want to plug real quick, Maria with Room to Grow, myfirewalk.com, and please, definitely, if you want more information about Firewalk, absolutely monumental experience, and she's the one that introduced me to Firewalk, and she's definitely become a friend and mentor. And she's definitely a huge supporter of what I do at DaVinci Home. So, sure, show the video.
We're going to run the video.
But I wanted to credit her.
What else? While we have some dead air. No, let's not talk about anything else to confuse people.
Right.
September we met. I could tell by your smile you hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed, couldn't leave me alone. Text me every time that you pick up the phone. And I had control in the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned. Now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you acting like a fool. I'm on the other side.
I'm sure my dad's so proud being with fire. My dad's a retired captain of the fire department.
He's probably having a stroke right now.
Yeah.
Nice going.
Maria actually had to help her because she was too afraid to light the fire.
I was scared.
I think my 11-year-old would become an addict or alcoholic just to play with fire.
Yeah, right?
That's one of those surprise selfies, like you don't know they're coming.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
That doesn't happen to Jennifer, though. Every
No.
picture. She never met a camera she doesn't like. Every picture's like,
You here by my side. You make me sweat in the coldest of nights. Yeah, I had control in the driver's seat.
I love that. She broke a board that said OCD and fear of bugs. So she was symbolically breaking her obsessive compulsive disorder.
yeah, that's important. And we'll talk about that, but that is important to address it in literal terms.
That was Jules. I broke career and substance abuse.
Oh, okay.
Tables have turned.
And here we are walking across the hot coals now.
Yeah. Kissing our feet.
And there is no gimmick to this. These really are hot coals. If you're not in that flow state, you will get burned.
Well, it just seems like a bad idea to walk on fire.
Right. It is incredibly empowering.
And everybody did it, or most people did it.
I don't think anybody abstained. As a matter of fact, anybody I've brought to the firewalk who said, I'm not going to do it, ends up doing it. Even people who said, I have necropathy or I have diabetes, and they say that they give you the reasons why they can't do it. Until today, actually, we had 3 pigs at the house. So
I noticed you had a pet pig on Facebook.
right, and so yeah, having the pigs, and a lot of people weren't used to that or comfortable with that at first, and it's people surprise themselves with their animal husbandry, so that's a little empowering, to have that little bit of difference. But on a regular, we do try to do events. In the past, we've done camping trips in the Keys, and on those camping trips, we've jumped off high places. We go to.
She's like an epic cliff diver.
No way. Is that your thing, cliff diving?
Well, I wouldn't say cliff diving.
Do they have cliffs in Minnesota?
My thing. But
She's awesome. I'm afraid of water, so I don't swim. I will die. But she does all this epic stuff, and we include everybody. Like all of DaVinci goes, and we just have fun, live life, reinvent ourselves. And
See, which kind of leads us into the 23rd, and the reason we kind of we hurried this up so we would be able to make this very cool announcement here live on the Godlogic Project. But first, if you're watching us on Facebook, hey, Facebook over there, if it's still working, I hope the audio is good. If you're watching us on Facebook, come on over to youtube.com/Godlogic Project. Subscribe, ring the alert bell. You'll be alerted every time new content is uploaded. We are going to open the phone lines on a little bit, but I wanted to talk about Thursday night. Thursday is Thanksgiving, right? Is that correct?
correct.
That's
I'm
right.
supposed to know this, but Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Not
and
this Thursday.
No, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, it's a week from tomorrow. You're doing it a week earlier because it's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. People will be
Right.
perhaps not available, right?
Right.
I'm not going to give it away still, but I'm going to put the camera on you guys. Tell me what you're doing Thursday, because this is different.
Okay, well, on the 23rd, we're doing tattoos and turkey. So we're going to have a big tattoo. We're going to have a big tattoo. We're going to have a big turkey dinner. And then we're going to have a couple tattoo artists that will be doing tattoos.
We're gonna have a spades tournament.
Right, spades or Cards Against Humanity, or just hang out. But yeah, this is our third tattoo party event that we've done at DaVinci.
Is it always Thanksgiving?
No. I've just, usually when I kind of hear in the house there's a temperature where people are talking about tattoos and that sort of thing, I kind of preempt that where I can choose a tattoo artist that I know is good, that is clean, that will use the right tools, right inks, that sort of thing. Because it's a set time, I have a little bit of time to counsel with everybody on how much they're spending on it, where it's actually going to be placed, not on the neck.
Yeah. I told her, I was like, I'm going to get a big old, Vinci around my neck.
And you're like, no. Well, maybe a nice pair of brass knuckles on your neck wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
I don't think that would stop you from gainful employment.
Right. So it's kind of my alternative parenting where kind of guiding rather than just completely denying something.
Well, that's very cool, and that's very different. I mean, tattoos are for hoodlums. I know, because I'm a hoodlum. You can maybe have a dentist come in and do grills.
Ooh.
Yeah, well,
That'd be
that-
sweet. You can play that
Next
song,
month?
whatever that song is.
The
I can't.
Nelly grill.
Nelly,
Right,
smile
right.
for me, Daddy. What you looking at? You know
Nobody
that?
will be getting the 6'9" grill anymore.
Yeah.
I'll get a Ruby pipe wrench.
Ah.
So that's gonna be very, very cool event, and that's gonna be the 23rd at DaVinci Home,
Yes,
and they can get to that information on your website.
absolutely.
Did I just mention the website? I did, didn't I? Because we're gonna show them the website.
Right on.
This is a website I developed personally.
Oh, right on.
No, I didn't.
No.
I can't even do thumbnails.
Okay.
All right, so this is the DaVinci Home website. And you guys are located in Newport Richey, Florida, right? Beautiful Newport Richey. And where about Newport Richey?
Actually, Port Richey off of 19 and Ridge is probably the closest large intersection.
I used to live in Orchid Lake. Crazy.
Right
Okay.
on.
I had a house in Orchid Lake. You had to bring that up.
Ah.
So you're up here in Pasco County, a real good area, Port Richey, right? It's a good place for recovery. There's plenty of things around there that are necessities, like restaurants, stores, pretty much everything you
Yeah,
need.
we have a great location as far as bus lines, convenience to all the things addicts need, like courthouses and
Probation.
probation.
That's right down the street.
Yeah.
So we do have a really, really excellent location. And, yes, actually, Pasco County, the recovery area in Pasco County for 3 different fellowships is actually really, really involved, really dynamic itself. Both of them are, put on a lot of events. They're both, about it, the primary message, to carry the message to the addict or alcohol
right,
that
right.
still suffers.
Now, one thing I should have mentioned off the air, and you both probably know, it's an anonymous program, so we don't use letters.
Right.
Right.
I gotcha.
I should have said that before. As soon as you started talking about it, like, oh, I should have mentioned that.
Yep.
So in, I forget what tradition it is, but it's like 7 or 11 or something.
Right,
Like that. No,
right.
the 11th tradition, maybe. I don't know. I know the 7th one. They do it every night.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this is the website. Now it's DaVinci. It's DaVinciHomeLLC.com, and they can contact you guys directly there. This is, you guys take, do you work with any of the local agencies to provide like initial funding for folks or anything like that? So would it be, if they needed a place, they couldn't come out of pocket right away, is there a way of getting them funding? I know Ryan's Rope, I've had them on the show. They've done some work for folks to get them started in recovery. How does that work?
We do have like a pay it forward, our own pay it forward for DaVinci itself. As far as Transitional, there's not a lot of funding for that.
Yeah.
But also currently, not until next month, DaVinci's not FAR certified, so we don't get funding from
That
Baycare
happens
and that
next
sort of
month?
thing. Yeah.
It does.
So yeah, there's not a lot of funding. We do leave 2 beds available for our own pay it forward program.
Right.
But that's just something we do ourselves.
Right. That's just internal.
Right.
Well, on that note, guys, if there's anything I can do for you, either in recovery or spiritually, whatever it is, email me at godlogicproject@gmail.com. I have a lot of resources in the area, and if I don't, I'll let you know. If I do, I'll hook you up. It's godlogicproject@gmail.com. Another thing is, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, if you got a story we can tell, build a podcast out of it. You don't have to walk on fire to do it. Email me again, godlogicproject@gmail.com. And as always, I ask you to subscribe, ring the alert bell, and help support the Godlogic Project. That way, speaking of supporting the Godlogic, see how I do my own commercials right while we're
Love
talking?
it.
All right.
Speaking
great.
of doing supporting the Godlogic Project, I have an Amazon affiliation now. So if you go to godlogicproject.com, click on the Amazon logo, shop as normally, Amazon will donate a portion of your purchases to the Godlogic Project.
That's awesome.
How cool is that? So go to godlogicproject.com, click on the Amazon logo, and you just shop. It just looks like regular Amazon. You just shop, but then they send a couple bucks to the Godlogic Project to help pay for this monstrosity of a studio that I don't know
Great.
how to use.
Right, yeah.
So so we have the turkey thing going on. We've already seen you guys kind of do some walking on fire, some really out of the box things. We talked a little bit on the phone, and I try not to talk to my guests too much. We kind of broke that rule before the show started, but so we can be kind of fresh in the conversation. But there's usually traditional boundaries set in recovery houses, and I talked to Jennifer a little bit about this week, and I've struggled with this in the people that I work with. you guys are what would it be?
CoEd.
CoEd, yeah. So you guys are a CoEd recovery house, at least for now, recognizing obviously the problem that could lead to, especially with addicts and alcoholics. But tell me a little bit about that, and how do you kind of get around that?
So a few months ago, right after Angelique asked me to be her partner, there was 2 guys that really needed help. For me, DaVinci is a place of hope, and a lot of people don't have money to go to other transitional housing because it is very expensive. And these 2 guys were gonna be back out on the street, and I have boys, and I know that if my kids needed help one day and somebody looked at them and was like, well, you're a boy, I can't help you, that's upsetting.
Yeah.
These are somebody's sons, their fathers, they have kids. And I just went to Angelique and I was like, look, can we please help them? We have to help them. And we did. And so that's when we made it CoEd. And so far is so good. Like the guys that come in, we love on them. They're like brothers to us, or uncles or whatever. We're really close to them, and they respect everybody in the house, and it's a really good thing so far. We're trying to get another house, so it's not going to be forever CoEd, but it's worked out really well for us.
So if there's a local businessman that is really watching this tonight and wants to support what you guys are doing, and they can maybe help pour into the DaVinci home to set up a separate home or a second home, that would be awesome, right? So they can contact you again through your website to do that. That about makes sense. So the obvious problem with that would be letting a rooster in the hen house kind of thing, right? Especially when you're dealing with our population. I'm amongst that population.
Actually, when I took Jen on as my partner, I kind of, like I had a talk with myself about, that I was going to make her an equal partner, and I did trust her to begin with, and I was going to take her suggestions. So she has, in a lot of ways, she's brought me out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways, and doing it CoEd was one of them. So when we started working with men and women in the house and asking them to step up to that and say, hey, everyone is going to tell you that a CoEd house is not going to work, and that they had to keep the integrity of the program, because some of the people in the house are working on getting their children back, and actually involved with the legal system. That everybody had to keep the integrity of the house for those serious issues. They were really glad to take up that. Actually, they were really glad to take on that initial, and I think it was a lot better for them. And I know for my personal recovery, working with men has been exceptionally good for me, because I did have a lot of my own hang-ups working with guys. I actually have some sexist issues, and I raised my boys that way. So working with men and seeing that they could really step up to the plate, that that they had a lot of goals in recovery themselves, was very good for my own recovery. And working with them has been incredibly inspiring, and I would say that our house has actually been improved by this. Yes. Jen and I both live there 24/7, and of course, we have all the other security features like cameras and that sort of thing. But in general, I would say that that extra that they have to step up with their own integrity has actually been something that's just been a wonderful experience, and not something that's been a hinder. So of all the things that she's got me to get out of my comfort zone and do with DaVinci, that was one of the better ones for sure.
Well, I've had, and I have right now as we speak, I'm at least temporarily sponsoring a lesbian and a gay man, and which is awkward because I'm a pastor.
Right.
So for them to ask me, pretty cool. You got to hand it to them, right? Yeah. So but what do I do? So it's obvious, and I know the lesbian, we've been friends for a long time, and I know one of her problems is sex. So I'm encouraging her to go, hang out with guys, which is counterintuitive to what we generally do, but it's the right solution for this situation. So there are situations that come up that are especially in 2019, they become more and more vague. But we have to help people, right? We're required to extend that hand, whether we.
And we've always been very, very. We've definitely been an ally to the LGBTQ community. As a matter of fact, we even had a lesbian wedding at DaVinci. So, it's things are a little bit different. We do have to ask people on both sides, because having gay women in the house, I've had to ask them to step up to the the integrity
same
thing.
Situation.
Right. So yes, we've kind of got to address things as they are, just as I address like the fact that addicts are going to go get tattoos.
Yeah.
And it's better to kind of address it as it is than say it's not
right,
gonna happen.
or to be in part of the conversation. And I deal with that with my kids. I've always, not Grand Theft Auto, that's out, but like Call of Duty or something. He already knew, right? He knew all the scenes, and so I started playing it with him. Video games, believe it or not my thing. But I wanted to be part of the conversation. That this isn't, this is, he's going to learn it somewhere, right? So I want him to learn it from his father, somebody that cares about him, rather than strangers on the street, right? So then we end up in the same situation with the people we try to help in recovery. So then if I have a conflict of interest with those two sponsees, it would have to be the gay guy, right? So it wouldn't be the lesbian, although that might get the most pushback in the rooms and traditionally. But that's in fairness, I've known her a long time. She used to work for me, so it's a little easier. But that would get less blowback, but that would be more of an issue, technically, right? So it's at the end of the day, I'm not a big proponent. I would say of the LGBTQ community.
Right.
I mean, I'm not against it, but I'm not for it. I'm not pro. I don't celebrate it, right? But that doesn't mean that I can't help them, right? And they can't help me. So, kind of the idea of the Godlogic Project is, let's stop with all that silliness and see how we can exist in this world, right? And help as many people as we can while we're here. We're not going to be here forever. Right. So,
with DaVinci, the entire culture of DaVinci is it is dynamic, and it is Jen and I do live there full time, and they see what we're doing and how we're inspired, and actually building that. They actually want to be a part of that. They actually want to be on the good side of that.
Right.
But the whole culture is like a progressive, moving forward culture. Of course, we're
reinventing ourselves.
Right. In every
yes.
Absolutely. In every way for everybody. We're involved in their successes too, whether we're spending time with them building a resume, or just getting them out of the funk for the day and getting them to believe in themselves and that and all of that. So there is a different culture that is a little more where they want to be a part of what's going on, not be on the adversary of it. They're not feeling like we're the big bad rule makers.
No.
They're actually trying to be along a part of the flow of what we're doing.
And it's a program of attraction. So if you two don't have something they want, it doesn't matter what you tell them. And that's the reality of evangelism or recovery.
Right.
If I don't have something somebody wants, if I don't conduct myself a certain way all the time, and I told you my little 10-step story before we went on the air, that's not okay, right? So, and that is then what draws people into recovery, and they think that if Kevin the plumber can pull this off, anybody can, and that makes sense. It should be that way.
It should be.
So then how many people have gone through your program? How many people are in there now? How many people do you think have gone through? Do you keep track of that stuff?
Wow, I couldn't tell you how many people have gone through the program. I definitely would say it's in the hundreds. But it has the capacity for 17. On average, we're around 11 people. But again, because the culture is a little different, we're not. Initially, what I wanted to do was make a culture where, okay, I know I want to do this. I know I need to change my life. And for me, when I came into recovery, like the lights went on. Okay, I really can't do the mess of a boyfriend. I want to do this. I don't necessarily need all the rules, and like I just want to have an environment that is recovery and get
Forward
back on my
moving,
feet.
Right.
So no, DaVinci is not so full of rules that you're miserable that you're going to hook up with a guy or girl or another addict. Now you both have to stay clean, and it never works out. So in general, I would say that our residents stay a lot longer. So a year, 18 months, 2 years even. So because it's that kind of environment where they're going to take the time to get first, last, security. They're going to get their license back. They're going to finish their legal problems. They're going to do those things because DaVinci is, it's not just home. It is a dynamic environment where you feel like Jen and I are on your side to help you with solutions to get to the next place.
Do you find you have to kind of prod them along? I could picture the alcoholics and addicts I've known over the last 30 years would get very comfortable in that environment. You kind of sometimes got to give them a little boost out of the nest, or what?
Well, it's not that we have to give them a boost out of the nest, because I think it's so dynamic what we're doing and inspiring. At DaVinci, my longest resident was there 2 years and a couple months, but she ended up with a 2019 vehicle before she left. She went from an $8 an hour job to having a salaried position with her job. Now before she left, there's no way an $8 an hour job is going to get her a place of her own. But she did stay long enough, and she did keep, with the job that she had. And now she's got a salaried job. She's driving a brand new car, is building her credit, and doing all the right things. So, recovery does take a long time. There is first, last security. I'm 5.5 years clean, and I'm still working on the wreckage of my past with my credit. So
I'm working on the wreckage of my present.
Right. So, and that was the whole goal, though, is that I did want to slow people down, because all the halfway houses I was at, you would always have two girls over in the corner hatching a plan to go get a place together. And they were back 2 months later.
Yeah.
So and that's what I didn't want to happen at DaVinci.
So then we talked a little bit off the air, but which we shouldn't do, but we did. What are some of the success stories? What fields you're an entrepreneur, so I imagine that they have access to that kind of motivation. Maybe start their own business or to kind of, in DaVinci, I'm guessing it's not just going to be you need a 9-to-5 career, but you can do anything you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I just gave you one of them, but another girl that was in my house is in school for engineering. And I have one that called me today. She's reunited with her family in her own home. With her own vehicle. She's completed all her legal issues. Just fantastic things. So we have a lot of past residents that still come and support DaVinci, take addicts to meetings, who share their experience, strength, and hope, and their success, their inspiration. So DaVinci is an open door. We have, on the weekends, we have addicts from the rooms who come play Cards Against Humanity, or
just drink coffee in the morning.
Now, why would you be against humanity? I don't get it.
That's a great game.
Yeah.
So, are you guys comfortable with opening up the phone lines?
Absolutely.
Sure.
I have no idea if anybody's even watching.
Let's see what happens.
I'm gonna put
That'd be so awesome if
at
there
the bottom of
was
the screen. We got a designated line here in Burbank, California, at the beautiful Godlogic Studios. I believe Johnny Carson got his start in this very studio.
That's awesome.
Back in before I was born. So
right on.
So you have folks that are getting like 9-to-5 jobs, really focusing on the life skills that in a lot of cases addicts and alcoholics don't have going into this thing. So I got sober very young, and I had zero social skills. I didn't want social skills. I didn't want friends. I spent 2 years by myself.
Right.
I mean, literally went fishing by myself, went to the movies by myself. I just did everything by myself. I had no use for people outside of my old neighborhood. So people don't realize how much is missing. So just quitting drinking or drugging is only might get you to zero. Now you've got to start building and getting those principles installed in your life: perseverance, hope, tolerance, spiritual awareness, all the things that when I saw those list of 12 principles on the wall. I thought they were character defects. I was glad I didn't have any of them.
Yeah, right.
And now I live by them, right?
Right.
So some are slower than others, but it doesn't have to take forever to do that.
Right.
So you guys deal with kind of the whole person, and it's not just, quit drinking, get detox, quit drinking, quit drugging, and then good luck with everything.
Right. No.
We, transitional house, this phase of your recovery is so pivotal because, yes, you're going to learn how to put your life together, live life on life's terms, and incorporate your support and your anonymous 12-step fellowships, and then practice that with other people who are as sick or sicker than you, also at different phases in their recovery. There's going to be people who have more recovery than you in the house to help you out. And then there's going to be people that remind you that your recovery might be a little better than you thought.
Right. And so we talked again before we went on the air about the importance of kind of living in your assets and understanding that you even have assets. So I see with the people I work with, I find the same things: low self-esteem, fear, whether they admit it or not, anger, which I think is just a fear with a little self-control, throw it in there for men, or women. They're demonstratively angry because they're fearful, right? But in the opposite of that is faith, right? So if you have low self-esteem, begin to do esteemable things, and you won't anymore, right? So we kind of, I'm guessing you kind of develop the whole character, the mind, body, spirit. Is there, are they encouraged to exercise and go to join gyms and things like that, or do you guys do that at the house?
No, no, not specifically joining gyms in the physical aspect of it, but yes, we do incorporate another anonymous fellowship that has to do with codependency. But
I did try to go to the gym. I got a membership, but now I just go and tan, and I'm trying to get some people to come with me. But
yes.
I know it's fun though. We have fun. It's fun. We might not work out, but we go together and we tan and we go in the massage chairs. But we're trying to start working out.
Well, we definitely, it is Jen and I, that isn't us, or that isn't me. Maybe it will be, but I'm not a workout person. Certainly if somebody wants to work out, that would be great. Yeah. But we do encourage, like I said, we work on codependency because, again, early in my recovery, when I realized, okay, I want to do this thing, I want to surrender to this new way of life, I realized that my biggest problem was I was codependent on a guy. And realizing that I was empowered myself, and to be able to do that with the help of other women in the rooms was everything. So we do incorporate a lot of codependency. We do a house meeting every week, so we touch base with where they're at in their recovery. Jennifer does her little by little with each and everybody.
I know, I love it.
Yes.
So she will sit with them and kind of figure out where they are, where they are in their recovery, where they are in their own goals, how we can help to do that. And then in some cases, I'll work with them more on the organizational time planning and bullet journaling with them so that they can get a better grip on how to do goal setting. I give them a worksheet that shows them the different areas of goals and how to set micro tasks to start getting those bigger goals done. So we do we're very proactive in trying to do that. So getting comfortable at DaVinci is okay, but we are always on the what's next.
Yeah, you don't grow in your comfort zone. In fact, you can rot there. So it's very important that it's always been for me, I can fall into ruts, right? So to think of something else to do that to keep my mind stimulated and keep me focused and give me hope.
And the biggest thing is Jen and I just want them to know, that that they're not doing it alone, that we're doing it too, that we're willing to do these things with them too. We'll give them a weekly paper that, what kind of appointments they have, if they're going to get jammed up for rides, so that they can start preparing ahead of time, But mostly it's hard to get stuck in it and be lazy about it when you actually have Jen and I who are like, how can we do it?
And that's
We'll
the
be there
importance.
with
I think
you.
that's the benefit of being on site all the time.
Right.
So then, not only are you a guiding light, a North Star for them in their recovery, they can follow if they want what you have. They can follow what you do. You want what I have, you do what I do.
Right.
But then also you can monitor anybody. There's an accountability for them because you get to know these folks maybe more intimately than somebody that lives off site and just goes around and collects the money every month or every week. You know?
Right. And, and what we do, Jen and I have been very careful about making it duplicatable so that when we do other houses and we're able to put management in other houses, how we're doing little by little and bullet journaling and how we're doing those things. So, we're being mindful in what's manageable, because in the end, I'm not there to micromanage their recovery. Because I'm a recovering addict, I would go crazy. That would be the opposite of having my recovery, is to micromanage their recovery.
Yeah.
So we're there, but you've got to give them enough space to sink or swim a little bit on their own as well. There's no magic cloud over DaVinci that when people come to DaVinci, they're ready to go. For that matter, I have some people that come to DaVinci that we have to remind them daily to take a shower until they're feeling better about themselves.
What takes kind of when I teach a lot on what takes self-discipline in the beginning becomes spiritual muscle memory or emotional or physical muscle memory later on, so that we begin to what we struggle to do. One of the things somebody had me do years ago was say hello to everybody at the meeting. Knowing my social problems, I was like, I don't like saying hello to people I know. We talked a little bit about that.
Right.
So so I started a podcast because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So but I did, and I started saying hello to everybody I knew, everybody I didn't know, and it's part of my job now at the church to do that.
Very nice.
And now when I'm not there on Sunday or I kind of miss these folks, you know, which is a whole nother version of Kevin that I've never met before. Just I like to be by myself and do my own thing and figure stuff out, whatever. But it was important that I got out of my comfort zone and made this a little harder than I was probably being a little too easy on myself, just keeping my head down, and not getting hit. So what I've done, let me put myself on camera. So what I've done here, folks, is I've opened up the phone lines. And those of you that know me know I'm not terribly bright, so I forgot the phone number, so I had to look it up. And now the phone lines are open. You're welcome to call in. And again, if there's anything I could do for you guys, if I can help in any way, if you want to be on the show, or if you've got a loved one wants to get into recovery, I have a lot of connections, especially in the state of Florida, but even outside the state of Florida. I take phone calls all the time from all over the country. So email me at godlogicproject@gmail.com, and I'll put you in touch with folks that maybe can help you for whatever your unique situation is. And again, if I don't have that resource, I'll let you know right away so you can find it. I'll put you in touch with somebody maybe that can find it for you. Our phone number is 727-600-5837. Call in. You could ask the ladies any questions. You could ask me questions about recovery. And if you have questions about the DaVinci Home itself, it's DaVinciHomeLLC.com. You get there, you reach out to them, and they'll lead you through the process, and we'll all be here to help you through that process for sure. And if you'd like to call in now, I should tell you that I am the engineer as well as the host.
Okay.
So when people call in, I usually either hang up on them, no, I'm kidding, or I yes, somebody's calling. I mean, people calling all the time.
Yeah.
So I might be rude if you see me go like this because somebody's calling. Hello, caller, you're live on the Godlogic Project. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
How are you today?
Good.
Are you interested in the recovery community? Are you in Tampa Bay, or what's going on?
I'm in Tennessee.
You're in Tennessee? What can we help you with today?
Yeah. How do I stop smoking?
How do you stop smoking? That's a tough one. That's something that I struggled with. You guys have any want to speak into how to just stopping smoking is a tough one.
That's difficult.
And do you hold on, caller, we're going to talk about this. Do you encourage people to stop smoking right away? I tend to tell them wait a while till you tackle that.
Well, right, for sure. that's not something I tackle with them right away. That's something they would have to indicate to me they want to quit doing.
Right.
In which case we give them to the Florida Quit line.
Yeah.
And
Patches, gum.
A lot of prayer. A lot of meditation, and a lot of determination.
I found that the Chantix works. There are some side effects to it. Even the patches of the gum have worked. Now I've just quit 6 or 8 months ago, and it's way better. It's a way better way of life, not smoking than smoking.
You have to want it. You have to want to do it. You have to want to quit.
And you do have to just make the determination, the date, the quit date, ramp up to it. You have to do the same thing you would do in recovery. Have your accountability partners. Let people know that you're doing it. Talk about it. It's people, places, things. There's some things you have to change about your lifestyle if you want to quit smoking.
And it is the physical habits of smoking. Caller in Tennessee is that I like to smoke when I drink my coffee in the morning. I like to smoke after I eat. And once I broke those little patterns, smoking during the day was kind of easy or easier. And you should know before I let you go, caller, that when you have those nicotine fits, if you picture it simply as the urge to smoke, that nicotine fit leaving your body, those nicotine fits are progress, and they become fewer and further between. And believe me, I was I actually quit smoking. I just thought, well, I'll never be able to do it.
Right.
And I'm on a pretty good streak right now, so I hope we helped you out there, caller, and thank you for calling and watching the Godlogic Project.
Thank you.
All right, God bless.
You too.
That's awesome.
Right?
Cool.
Yeah, it was,
I didn't expect a quit smoking question.
Right. Yeah. Well, we did just go through a lot of that at the house. So we did call the Florida Quit line. Turns out that vitamin C is something that really purges your body of nicotine. Changing everything, even to the flavor of your mouthwash is very beneficial. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of resources, but the Florida Quit line actually will give you a whole pamphlet on all those kind of things that you should quit.
I think breaking the physical pattern was probably the answer for me. So I get my coffee and go back to bed, whether I like it or not. I watch TV and watch the news and drink my coffee in bed, because there were just a couple of times that I smoked, and I was never really a huge smoker. I mean, but I just couldn't stop either, Right. But my problem is, or I worry about emphysema. I have friends that I used to ride with that, they're all 1%, ex-1%ers or Vietnam vets, and they got the cigarette in the oxygen tank in the tube, and they literally, you tell them a joke, you got to get them a drink of water because you're going to kill them.
Right.
So I didn't want to end up like that.
No.
Cancer I could deal with, but I couldn't deal with that.
Right.
So, all right, well, thank you again for calling, and we'll wait for some more calls to come in if you guys have any particular topics you want to talk about. But again, I encourage you to email me at godlogicproject@gmail.com if I can help in any way. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, certainly I'd love to have you. We can do video remotes, so you don't have to be here in beautiful Godlogic Studios. We can do it over the internet. I've done a couple of podcasts where I was the guest over the internet, and I've had a couple of podcasts with the guest from Boca Raton, from Massachusetts, New Jersey. So I've had people call in and be guests on the show from anywhere. And again, I would remind you, if you're going to be shopping on Amazon anyway, Christmas season coming up, you're shopping on Amazon anyway, go to godlogicproject.com, click on the Amazon logo, shop as normal, and Amazon, not you, will donate a portion of your sales to the Godlogic Project. Help me pay for all this junk I don't know how to use. And then we just had dead air.
Okay, well, sorry about that.
So what else you want to talk about?
Actually, I would like to, we were talking about the Pay It Forward program that we do at DaVinci, and we do have an e-commerce site ourselves, our own clothing store.
Yes.
And it's at DaVinciTshirts.com.co, and it has...
Why don't we have it up here anymore? Who's hosting this show? So we'll show that right now. It's called what?
DaVinciTshirts.com.co.
Thank God I'm good looking. I wouldn't get by on my brains. DaVinci T-shirts,
.com.
plural.
Nope, T-shirts. Oh, it might. I think it is T-shirts. Now I don't know my own website.
We're about to find out together there, Florida, there, America. I actually have, I guess not. I actually have guests that I can tell from where people are watching the show. And we get viewers from outside of the United States, which I didn't foresee coming. So I'm going to change the name of the ministry to Godlogic International.
Okay.
So now I'm really technically international.
All right.
So I'm probably going to be a big shot, and I probably won't talk to you guys when I see you
know.
outside the studio.
Yeah, really?
Be like Angelique and Jennifer outside. I'll be like, who?
Jen and I will be like,
Tell them.
he made you who you are.
Yeah.
Tell them to make an appointment. You sure you?
It's DaVinci T-shirts.com.co.
Oh, no dot. I see it. Again, it's the professionalism of the Godlogic Project that I think people love the most.
There we go.
So we're going to show the clothing line here, folks, and you guys explain to me what we're looking at right away. You can get 20% off your first order
No, that's
just
not
by entering your
me.
email address. That better not come out of your end. I ain't giving up no 20%. No. We're glad to do it here at the
That's
DaVinci
actually
home.
not me.
So we have T-shirts. We have men's T-shirts.
No, that's
Hold on,
not
that's
me.
that's not
What have
us.
you done?
So we're literally plugging someone else's.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
Davin-
pretty good.
Did they? They put your name up there, but look what they did. Sneaky, they put your name up there, but then put their website.
Wow.
Oh.
That's interesting. Look at that.
How did that happen?
Look how many DaVinci T-shirts there are, by the way, and
That's
it's not you.
really odd.
DaVinciT-shirt.com.co, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might be T-shirts.
Well,
Oh,
it
gosh.
might be. It might
I
be that
just
Yahoo
changed-
stinks.
Yeah, we just changed it.
Oh, we had it up
There we
already.
go. Yeah, it's right here.
Let's do this.
It's DaVinciT-shirts.com.co. At least you're making me say the website a
Yeah.
lot.
DaVinci T-shirts.
Yeah, I'm doing this on
.com.
purpose. I really know how to use a computer.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just paste it in there and see what happens.
There.
Doing it in sign language now.
No.
I don't know why you're having it pulls up on my cellular
Is it? You
device.
sure it's not plural? Let's try that.
It's DaVinci T-shirts. It is plural.
Well, that one letter away will kill us.
It's DaVinciT-shirts.com.co.
Can you announce the phone number again?
Is it DaVinciT-shirts.com.co? DaVinciT-shirts.com.co?
Yes.
Yes.
DaVinci T-shirts.
.com.
.co.
.co. and don't go to that Zazzle. That's they
that's not
pirated their name, and it's just not right.
Hey, I got a text saying that they need the phone number again. It's missing a digit on the end.
Oh, that's a technical problem I didn't foresee. Let's do this. Did it somehow get? No, it's on there. Did it somehow get bigger?
And he keeps putting it in the search instead of the address bar.
Oh.
And that's why we're getting all of
I can hear you. I have headphones too.
that. But I wasn't talking in the microphone.
Well, like the phone number got bigger. All of a sudden,
Did
it was off the screen. So you want me to type it in here?
In the address bar, DaVinci Home
wait.
T-shirt.
No. DaVinci
DaVinci
T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Are you sure this is your website?
It is. DaVinciT-shirts.com.co.
Are you telling me it's DaVinci T-shirt? I'm gonna have nightmares about DaVinci
Right?
T.
He's going to wake up. T-shirts. Oh, well.
I have no idea why you're not able to.
DaVinciT. How is he spelling T-shirt?
Is it just a T?
Just the T. No
Ah.
E-E. T and then
Well, that-
shirts.
Would have been good to bring that
There
up.
it is.
Whoa, look at
So
this.
fancy.
Yes,
Look at this, America.
Yeah, if you go to
That's us.
catalog, then
It's DaVinci T-shirts, just a T-shirt,
letter
just the letter T.
yeah.
Ah, we got it.
Oh yes.
Look at that. What do we got there? Spiritual Savage right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that thing? Is that a backpack?
It is.
Yeah, that's a backpack. It's not been organized yet, but our catalog will give you the full line if you go to the catalog menu there.
The left.
The left.
Oh, over here, the
Yeah.
catalog menu.
Yeah.
So you come up on the catalog menu, and I believe that's Jennifer.
No,
Modeling the
that's not
T-shirt?
me. I don't know who that is, but it
Um,
should be.
So you got cell phone covers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You got Epic Shit backpack right there. That's
Yep.
cool. You guys are epic. There's a
We
nice
are
shirt.
epic. Spiritual.
Sage to haters.
Sage your haters.
Oh.
And yeah, the T-shirt I'm wearing is actually from.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice. So that you got that from your own website.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know it was just T, not TE? So but this is their logo, and this is a very cool shirt there, and they can buy this for $9.
Yep.
That's pretty inexpensive.
Isn't it?
I'd have made it like
Great.
15. That's why I don't sell any T-shirts. Nobody ever buys mine.
The other T-shirts are $13.50. The ones with our logo, though, if you're sporting our logo, we're happy that you are.
Mhm.
But the rest of our designs are $13.50.
Okay, so let's just pick one that doesn't have $13.50. So you can get that cool shirt there. It doesn't say DaVinci on it anywhere.
No, it has our it will have our DaVinci logo, but currently it has our omnipotent
Oh.
logo.
So
in it.
and did you design that shirt? Is this custom designed by
we designed these, yes.
Angelique designed this?
Yes.
I need her to do some thumbnails for me is why I'm asking.
She will.
But yes, before Cyber Monday, we're actually going to redesign our whole site
Yes.
here. So there'll be a lot of new designs on here, and
Kind of like a holy hood.
Oh, really?
Little
yeah,
glitter,
a little
sparkle.
edgy, spiritual.
Yes.
Nice, nice. So this stuff's available at DaVinci T-shirts with just a T, no E's, .com.co, and all the proceeds from this go to help support the DaVinci House, which also, like you were saying before, leaves you do an internal pay it forward. So
Correct.
you do open 2 beds of 10 or 12, or how many do you have?
Well, we have we're able to do 17
Okay.
in our house, but
So you've got 2 beds that help people get started.
Correct.
yes.
So, and that's, I don't know that's, although I've run recovery houses and it seemed like we helped everybody get started. So we barely kept the lights on every month.
Mhm.
I don't know if
That's
you've
for
noticed, but you
It's
don't get
not
rich
the
doing that.
strongest
No.
business
No.
plan.
No. Well, you're doing the Lord's work.
Absolutely.
I thought when I became a pastor that like a little old widows would come by with a covered dish every night and, oh, let me just straighten up a little bit. You know, I got to do everything myself.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right.
That kid's not going to raise himself.
No.
Somebody's got to do something. So now the whole phone number is back on the screen. Is that
Okay.
correct? Oh, look, it happened again. I would say that's probably why people aren't calling in. Why is it
She
getting...
said, "This is my best friend, Kristi Johnson. I just wanted to say hi to her."
Hi, Kristi Johnson.
She's amazing. She's saying that he has the number on the screen, but it's missing the last digit.
Yeah, it's changing.
It might be good now.
Yeah, but it changed. Because it's getting bigger and I'm not touching it. And I don't know
Last
what
number-
causes that.
Isn't showing up. That's why no one is calling.
Well, the last number should be there now. Ask her if the last number's there. And they got 10 guesses at the last number.
Yeah.
So if they really wanted to talk to us, I think they'd be on the phone right now.
Tell Kristi to call in.
Call in,
So
Chris. I want to talk to you.
So now I've got to watch that stupid number that it stays there
Yeah.
in case I'm not busy enough over here. So so we'll wait for another couple of calls to come in.
Okay.
And like you were saying, the Tampa Bay recovery community. First of all, Tampa Bay is a part of, especially Pasco County, that is a part of Florida. Florida has a reputation for being kind of a party state, but it is a part of Florida that people really do need help, and that's why we have a church here in Holiday, which is one of the lower economic areas of Pasco County, which is not a wealthy county to begin with.
Right.
So it is important that that our areas are served the way we do, and I'd love to see the fact that so many people are getting into the entrepreneurial side of this and providing services that otherwise aren't available. So I have somebody call me. I might have resources in January, but if you call me in March and I call that person and that grant is over or that money is dried up, it's a very dynamic situation. When something breaks, I have to get on the phone and start calling and say, who has this? Where can I go? Who should I call? So I can get back to these people. But you don't have an awful lot of time.
Right.
And it is, in our cases, what we do, life and death, right? So
It is.
jails, institution, and deaths is what they're looking, is what they're heading towards if they don't do something. So when you get them wanting help, you got to be able to strike, and that makes it very difficult. So if there's any politicians watching, we can use some funding here to help with the addiction problem. Oh, wait, we got a phone call. Hold on. This is exciting. Hello, caller. You're live on the Godlogic Project. How are you today? Oh, maybe I should take you off mute. Hello, you're live on the Godlogic Project. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Oh, it's my mom.
Is this Jennifer's mom?
This is Jen's mom.
I just want to say how proud I am of my daughter.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mommy.
you trying to make me cry? So let me.
She sounds just like you.
Doesn't she?
Are you dancing right
Just
now,
like-
Jennifer's mom? Are you dancing? Because
No,
she,
dancing, Mommy.
I'll tell you, I cannot dance.
She can
she's been
dance.
dancing since
We'll
she
do
got
like
here. I
this.
think she was dancing in the parking lot when I came out, wasn't
Probably.
she?
Hey, Jennifer's mom, I love your daughter very much, and I think you should invite me more on those Comic-Cons you go to.
Yeah, Mom. My mom is pretty epic. Like,
Another.
yeah. We
Oh,
had
great.
I
another
love your blue hair.
she's awesome.
Well, I appreciate your calling in. Jennifer's mom, did they name you at birth, or should we call you Jennifer's mom? Or would you like to remain anonymous?
Mom.
Just Jennifer's mom? So you're not going to commit to her recovery progress so far? Maybe next year.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate you calling in.
Hey, Mommy.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? You want to say hello to America? You know we're international now, Jennifer's mom. So there's probably people watching in New
Tell her
Zealand
I
or
love
something.
her.
I love you too, Mommy.
She is wonderful. She does have an energy about her, doesn't she?
She always has.
Do you want to tell us some embarrassing stories
No,
of
no.
her?
We're good, Mommy. We're good.
Hang up!
Hang up.
Mommy.
You lost signal.
All right, Jennifer's mom, I got another call coming in I'm going to catch.
Bye, Mommy.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Hello, you're live in the Godlogic caller. Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Kristi, and I'm calling from Dade City.
Kristi, can I ask you a question? Are you related to Jennifer?
No, actually.
I am related to Jennifer. Jennifer is a part of my family, and
Oh.
we are kind of related through marriage. We kind of share kids also.
We do.
Nice, nice.
This is my son's
Yeah.
stepmom.
Oh, my goodness. That's
Yes.
awesome.
She is married to my ex, my son's father, and she is a big
Oh,
part
gosh.
of. I know, Chris.
This
She's
actually needs to be a whole podcast.
this
All by
right here.
itself.
It does. It does.
no,
We
no.
we have a great relationship. She was the one in my corner, and helped me get into recovery, and then helped me at DaVinci, and she is heaven sent. Like,
And there is
this
not enough
woman.
of that in the world.
There's
I run
not.
into, I constantly deal with this, and the amount of pissing contest I have to
Right,
deal with,
right.
and it just doesn't even have to be
No,
there.
it doesn't. We have a great relationship today. I love her so much. She is such a good mother and wife and friend,
Oh,
and
goodness.
you know I love you. I love you so
And
much.
it-
Don't talk me up too much. I don't want to disappoint people.
No, no.
Well, if you come on the show and you're not wonderful, I'm out of here. I'll shut the Godlogic.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. That actually needs to be a podcast
Well-
because what they do and how they co-parent and
Wow.
how they support each other. And yes, I think initially they did that for the children, but what they both have gotten out of that relationship in the end has been just a benefit to
Oh.
both of them.
You want to hear
incredibly.
something crazy?
What's up?
My ex-wife, her husband, my ex-sister-in-law are all in leadership at my church.
Wonderful.
So I point to people, oh, that's my ex-wife right there. And they're
Yeah.
like, what? She goes to your church? But we get along fine. The only
right.
time we didn't get along was when we were married. I mean,
Mhm.
Before we got married, we were great, and after.
I can understand. Yeah, I would say it is such a God thing, and God really put Jennifer on my heart, and just to love on her, which I think is what I've realized. Learned so much from Angie and Jennifer is just these people just really want to be loved, and I just it was amazing to see her transformation, and she encouraged me in so many ways. And the difference between these two ladies is they really love the people that come into their house, and they're doing, God's work in really wanting the best for them. There is not a time I don't talk to Jennifer throughout the day, and she's telling me they're running people to jobs, and they're taking people to meetings, and they're taking people to food banks, and they're so hands-on with these men and women, and they have such great hearts for them. And I do think that sets them apart, and I think it really opens the door. God blesses that because he sees their hearts for these people and this ministry, and a mission for them in all walks of life.
Yeah.
Like you guys were talking, like the LGBTQ community, and they just want everybody to be pulled out of addiction and to know what it's like to be loved and to have people in their corner. And it started out me wanting that for Jennifer, and it was such a God thing that he kept, me walking in that direction for her and pushing for her and just like working in love over and over and over again. And God's been seeing him radically change her life was astonishing. I mean, she did not go into her testimony at all, and I know you probably know her from the rooms. And
we all talk about her. We all know. That's all I hear.
Well, I mean, and you guys know her now, and I knew her from back then.
Yeah.
And, her heart is new. It's such a new heart, and it's a soft heart, and it's a big heart, and she's just an amazing woman. And I have learned so much about Angelique, and I love that they have this like sisterly bond, and they really do complement each other. I can't say enough good things about DaVinci. I'm so excited about it. It gets me excited and makes me feel like motivated to continue to reach out in ministry and loving on others. So it has been such a blessing all the way around.
Well,
for these ladies.
We have a special thanks for you, and if you could make Jennifer cry live on the air by saying that she's close, I will buy you a DaVinci T-shirt.
You've got one coming anyway.
I have a DaVinci T-shirt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I was going to buy you a DaVinci T-shirt. Anyway, I just wanted to see Jennifer cry.
We do. We cry so like every day. I call her, and we have these conversations, and yes, we cry a lot together on the phone. She has helped me out tremendously because doing this work, it's hard, it's difficult, it gets overwhelming. Sometimes you don't know what to do sometimes, and you're just like, okay, I want to help these people, and I want to do this, and sometimes you have to pause and regroup and then keep going. The
percentages are not good. Right? So if I can turn to Scripture, John 15 tells us to abide in the vine and don't worry about the fruit, right? And what we do, if I were to turn and quantify the fruit that I bear in recovery or in ministry, in my Christian ministry, I'd probably quit because the percentages are not great,
Right.
But we stay abiding in the vine, abiding in the program, and in my case, abiding in Jesus, and He will create the fruit for us, right? So, but it's tough. It's tough to really think about it.
You love people because He first loved us, and you don't do it for recognition. You don't do it for numbers. You just do it because that's what we're there to do. We're there to bring light to the world and to these people, and they are just awesome examples of that. It really just refreshed me every time I talk to Jennifer and I hear the stories, and we do cry, and we even cry for the people that go out, and that's the tough part. But you're right, we plant a seed for later down the road, or somebody sees that and they see the work that they're doing and the heart that they have, and it does set them apart. Not so many strict rules where it's like, oh, the rules are what keep you there. It's really the community and the relationship that they have with these people that keep them going.
And we do have, because of, Jen and I, we don't put a lot of ego in what we do. We're not convinced that we're the one and only solution. Right. So if they aren't successful at DaVinci, we usually leave that. Not usually. I can't think of a time I haven't left that relationship open And I've had people back at DaVinci 2, 3,
Yep.
4, even
Right.
5 times. And people that I thought, people that I had doubts about are now celebrating 1, 2, and 3 years of recovery because we kept it open. So I've learned that, success is not necessarily in this moment, like in the end, we have a 100% success rate because I'm only a part of the recovery.
Yeah.
I'm not the whole thing. I can't be the beginning end. That would be a lot of ego to say I'm every part of the recovery.
We don't get them sober and we don't get them drunk, and
No.
you have to remember that. I mean, it's but you do walk a thin line, and after time you begin to you develop like a sixth sense for recovery, and you set natural boundaries, and the people that want it have no problem with it at all. And I could name off 20 right now that have been through our program or I'm dealing with right now, and they want it. I mean, they call me all the time.
You have to want it.
I don't chase drunks because the harvest is plenty and the workers are few. Really.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. I'm a little disappointed you didn't make Jennifer cry.
Not today.
I
Probably tomorrow.
I didn't want to make her cry too much.
Yeah. I love you. Thank you.
She's on my TV.
Mom calling.
Everything that's happened to me that would be called bad has got me right here, right now.
Right.
And we are, the literature tells us we're uniquely qualified to help when no one else can. And if I got in the rooms and it was ink blots and lab coats, I probably would have got a cup of coffee, stole somebody's wallet, and left. So it does put us in a very unique position to help, right? And that is it's a blessing to be a blessing, and that's I think how we look at it, or we're supposed to look at it, And this is so important, especially with what we do, where we do it. I can't overstate the works are almost irresistible. I mean, I want to help. That makes a big difference. I can see it in you guys too with the things that you do. Now we do things differently, right? We believe different things, we do different things, but we have the common goal of pulling people back from the gates of insanity and death, right? And that is there's not a lot of. I tell people the program has saved more lives than penicillin, right?
Yeah.
And it really has. If
It
you
really
count my kids, right? My brothers and sisters, my parents. You name it, the amount of people that one recovery helps, that one miracle, can change 1,000 hearts. It really can. So I'll get off my soapbox now. I almost broke out into a sermon. Did you hear me? I'm gonna take up a collection in a minute.
Right.
We need a worship band. I got a guitar. Do you guys play?
No. Do you? I don't.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up. We're over an hour, but it was one of the best podcasts I think we've ever done. It was awesome. Do you guys have any parting thoughts for the global viewing audience that we have now?
I just want to say, if you are out there and you are suffering, DaVinci is not the only resources. There's more resources than you know. And please don't give up. Keep trying.
Yeah, God bless. Exactly right. Jennifer? She's going to cry.
I am.
Oh, I almost got a free T-shirt.
Don't give up. Reach out, speak up, speak out. Like, go to a meeting, call somebody. There's so much help out there. Like, just don't give up.
Amen.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Well, that's going to be our show for today, guys. If anything I can do for you, email me at godlogicproject@gmail.com. I'm glad to help if I can. Again, subscribe, ring the alert bell.
Shut up, Kevin.
Shut up, Kevin.
Oh, you forgot to say it.
No, we didn't. We just said it.
Are you allowed to say shut up, Kevin? All the stupid
thought
things
really-
I said during this show. And
I don't think people in my church would appreciate that.
they're not going to want to hear that kind of language. I'm a pastor.
Yeah.
So, for now, I'll probably get discommunicated or whatever it
Probably
is.
now,
Excommunicated. Well, anyway, if we could help in any way, certainly we'll do it. Both DaVinci Home, LLC.com, and GodlogicProject.com. If there's a way we can help, we certainly will do it. No one told you they love you today. God loves you, and so do we. Receive that. Be blessed. And now you get to watch Jennifer dance. Thank you for supporting the Godlogic Project. And if no one's told you they love you today, God loves you. So do I. Receive that. Be blessed. We'll speak soon. This has been a RevKev production. Your mileage may vary.
Shut up, Kevin.